Morning everybody, welcome to Vista Ventures. I'm Caleb and thanks for joining me. Today I'm up in Tiadaghton State Forest again. I'm right here outside the village of Ramsey. I'm going to be doing a loop of the Tiadaghton Trail and the Mid-State Trail. This loop was actually given to me by a subscriber, I believe Eric's Perkins. So thank you for that. I'm going to get out here and see how this loop is. It's mid-October. The parking lot here is a little bit smaller. There's only about 4 spaces here, but I think there is another smaller parking area on down here right along 44, but I'll see when I start walking down the trail here. So with that, let me grab the pack and let's get on the trail. I'm going to be hiking this loop counterclockwise. So starting here at Ramsey, just following the Mid-State Trail here, and for a short little stint right here along Route 44. But up here in a short piece, I'm going to be cutting up to the left and start charging up over that hill. Yeah, right here, just about 100 yards or so down along 44. Run right into this other small parking area here where it looks like there's space right there for, let's say, maybe 2 cars. Might be able to squeeze 3 in there if you were lucky, right there. But then we're just going to be turning and heading right up over the mountain right there. There, now that I'm on the other side of the road, you can get a little bit better view of that parking area. Yeah, I'd say you're probably lucky to fit 2 cars there. But if that other parking area back there is full where I parked at, this is another option for you. Alright, now that I'm up here away from 44 a little bit, you guys can probably hear me a little bit better. It's mid-November, my first hike of the fall so far. A little late getting out, but it's been kind of rainy and stuff here recently. And I've just been pretty busy on some of the weekends. This is about the first time I've been able to get out. Temperature should be pretty decent. Should be about the mid-50s for the whole trip. And I think the low's in the mid-40s, so really not much temperature fluctuation on this trip. It's calling for a slight chance of rain today. I think any time from now till 1 o'clock or so. So I'm hoping that hoping that holds off and don't get too much, maybe just a brief shower or something like that. But this trail it's going to be a 23-mile loop composed of, again, a section of the Mid-State Trail and then the entirety of the Tiadaghton Trail. Basically just forms a loop right here outside of Ramsey. So this will be my first time on this loop, so we'll see how she goes. Alright, with cautious optimism, hey, we finally made it to the top of this mountain. It was pretty typical Tiadaghton ascent there. Got some good cardiac conditioning in there. Holy cow. The first half of it was actually pretty pleasant. Just a lot of nice switchbacks, not too much elevation gain. But then, as I suspected, the closer we got to the top, the more difficult it got, but still it wasn't too bad. There were plenty of switchbacks where you could take breaks if you needed. Took me about an hour to get up here. It's just before 10 o'clock. So I think up here somewhere there's supposed to be a vista, so I'm certainly going to be looking forward to that after that ascent. Right here is the first primitive campsite I've seen so far. There was a flat spot right as soon as I got up to the top of this ridge that could have probably been made to work. This spot definitely isn't super great. I mean, you can make hammocks work in here real nice, but the tenting is could certainly leave a lot to be desired. I mean, you could put one in there and probably put one in there and wouldn't be too bad. But so now that's about it for the camping so far. I'll let you know if I find any other ones. So we made it out here to the Klein Ridge View. This is the first vista of the day. And it does not disappoint. That's a stellar view. Looking down the Pine Creek Gorge there. See all the foliage is just starting to turn. Just a gorgeous way to start the hike out. I just came across a massive pile of bear crap here in the trail. Got to see how big that is compared to my shoe. Holy cow. Huh. Well, see if we end up running into him on down the trail. As long as it's far away from camp, that'll be alright with me. Alright, it's 11:15. Just made it down in here to this campsite. Down in this hollow where these two streams come together. Not gonna lie, it was a little bit technical getting down in here. Just a lot of rocks and slippery roots and stuff coming down in along this stream here, off here to my left. But made it down here, so I'm hoping the climb up out of here isn't quite as bad. I'm hoping it's a little bit easier. Make up a little bit better time, but I'm just gonna go ahead and pop the pack off here for a minute and then just stop at this campsite for my mid-morning break. Yeah, this is gonna be a real nice spot to stop, but as far as camping, certainly not a super stellar spot. I mean, you could probably squeeze a real small tent in there, and down in there is about the best you got. Then everything else up here behind me is all bank. No options up in there. And then certainly most of the firewood and everything's been picked clean in through here, and you'd have some pretty significant humidity to contend with down in here, but overall certainly a nice spot for me to stop for a break anyway. see over there, kind of right across from where I just turned, and I'm starting to head up the hill here. You'd cross over that stream there. There is another campsite over there, and I think I see another fire ring right in there. Which looks like you might have a little bit more options as far as tenting and everything right in there. I really think it'd be better than that campsite I stopped at back there for a break if you had to camp down in here for the night. Alright, we're getting the climb out of the way here. I'm probably, I don't know, 3/4 of the way up. And right in here is actually a very nice campsite. This is by far the nicest campsite I've seen today. Do a little off-roading to get down to it, but nice and flat down in there. Lots of trees for hammocks and plenty of space for tents. Alright, got that climb out of the way. I think that's the last climb I got before I get to that Little Pine State Park up here. I think it's about 4-ish miles away. So yeah, we'll get up here and drop down off, and that looks like we just kind of like snake along the ridge until we get out to that state park out there. The climb coming up this side of that, I think Ramsey Run down there, was way better than the other side. It was graded pretty nice and wasn't real rocky or anything. I could make some pretty good time coming up there. But the other side was real slow going, so thankful that that went a lot better than the other side, and now I'll be up here on some flat terrain, be able to really pick up the pace. Well, the big descent down off of here has certainly begun. I'm sure my kneecaps will be screaming till we get down off of here, but it'll be good once we do, because then I think it's smooth sailing once we get down to the bottom till we get to Little Pine State Park down there. Alright, well, coming down this real steep part in these leaves, as you can see, ended up on my butt. Which isn't too bad, but the worst part is when I fell right next to this rock and went ahead and busted my trekking pole in half, just bent it right off that rock. So that's perfect. Glad we don't have too many miles left to go. Regardless, this isn't a real big trip, but so I'll probably have to stow this guy and see what I can do as far as band-aiding it once I get down here to the state park. But glad it wasn't any worse than that. Alright, so let me show you my attempted MacGyver fix here. So I cut this little green sapling I found, just the right size to fit up in there. Then I got this guy here, I'm just going to wedge over there like that. And then I got 6 feet of duct tape here on my trekking pole. So then I'm just going to try to weave that back and forth on here, and then we'll try her out and see what happens. Alright, there you have it. The finished masterpiece. We'll have to see how she performs. I mean, it's if I can show, a little bit shaky, but seems solid enough. At least decent for MacGyvering something together out here with a stick and some duct tape. So, alright. Well, with that done, I'm going to keep hammering down the trail and get down here to Little Pine State Park and have some lunch. Well, so far so good. She's holding up alright. So that's a good sign. Hopefully hold out long enough to just survive this trip with, and then I'll have to get a new pair when I get back. It turned out to be a spectacular day. I was kind of concerned if I was going to get rained on. It was going to be all foggy and humid and damp and nasty, but it's turned out to just be a phenomenal day. Couldn't really ask for much better weather hiking wise. You know, nice and cool. Starting to get some intermittent sunshine right now. And then, I don't know if you guys will be able to see or not, but right down in there off to my left, I believe it's Pine Creek. I don't know any other body of water up in here that's big. That's that big. So that's pretty neat to be on a hike next to that. I think we got pretty smooth sailing here for, I don't know, 2-3 miles, something like that, I think, until I get up here to the state park. Certainly looking forward to getting up there and hopefully finding a picnic table to stop and have lunch at. So I got here to this little side stream, comes down into Pine Creek down there. I'm just gonna go ahead and filter a couple liters so I'll have them when I get up there to the state park. Alright, I think I might see some signs of civilization out here, which is a good sign. Hopefully we're getting out here about to that state park. I gotta say, it's a lot further out along here than I gave it credit for. I thought it was something like 3 miles. I think it was probably more like 5 out through here. And it was a lot more side hilly than I was expecting. I thought it was gonna be a lot more level. So that just kind of made it a little bit miserable coming out through here. Not terrible. Fortunately, it's leveled off right now, so hopefully this will continue all the way to the state park. Alright, just right after 3 o'clock. Made it down here to the state park. Real nice, got a lot of picnic tables and that sort of a thing. Even got bathrooms and stuff over here. So got lunch wrapped up, so now I need to just get everything packed up and then figure out where we're going for here. Alright, yeah, that little Pine State Park down there was really nice. Plenty of open picnic tables, and they had bathrooms, probably showers you could get down there. Really nice. And then the trash was right there next to the bridge right as soon as you crossed over, so if you needed to throw out a bunch of trash, that was there as well. And then right as soon as I was leaving, I saw that Happy Acres restaurant right there. And they were open, so if I was, wish I hadn't brought all this food, I could have just swung in there and had a nice supper, but oh well. Alright, so now I'm on the Spikebuck Hollow Trail, which is combined with the Mid-State right now. So this will be my next to last ascent for the day. So climb up here, and then we'll jump off the Mid-State, and then pick up on the Tiadaghton Trail, and then take it up to the top of, I think it's like Huntley Mountain or something like that, and hopefully find a nice campsite up there. Now if you guys can hear that, or maybe see it out in there, but it started raining. I don't know if you can see that or not. Any showers would be done by noon, they said. They were full of it. I said. Whatever. Well, that escalated quickly. Holy cow. And more than I mentioned about it raining, and it just started hammering it. So I threw the poncho over me quick so I could just cover myself and the pack real fast. And then while I was in the middle of doing that, I heard an enormous tree fall out here somewhere. So we'll definitely have to pay attention to that if the wind picks up again. And then remember to really check the campsite out tonight for widowmakers, because I sure don't need a tree falling on me tonight. Well, I reckon that's the Mid-State Trails version of the lemon squeezer. Holy cow, that was a tight fit through there. Alright, finally made it to the intersection up here where the Spike Buck Hill Trail juts off here to the left. Gotta say, I underestimated how big of a climb it was going to be up here. But fortunately the rain is let off for right now, so hopefully that continues. But I'm going to go ahead and book it down here, and then we'll hook up with the Mid-State tomorrow, like right at the end of the day. Alright, I made it down here to Boone Road. Just got topped off with water back there. Now I'm heading over here and jumping straight onto the Tiadaghton Trail. It says Huntley Road 2 miles. That's up at the top of Huntley Mountain here. So I'm loaded with water. I'm headed for the campsite up there. I'm going to be pushing dark really hard till I get up there, because I think it's a pretty big ascent to get up there, and it's 5 o'clock now, so it'll be getting dark at about 7. So we'll see how it goes. I'll probably come rolling into campsite right at dark, which is usually par for the course for whatever reason here at Vista Ventures. Not sure what the heck this is. Weird. Just goes shooting straight up the mountain there, and then it just goes the whole way down. No idea what that is. Huh. Never seen anything like that. Alright, just across the stream there, about took a tumble since a rock shifted, but made it. And there's another little spring coming out there, so I could have filled up here, but just wanted to play it safe. Alright, here we go. The ascent up Huntley starts right now. Just scared a little deer right there, laying there on the side of the hill. Poor guy. Probably wondering what the heck that guy's doing. Alright, back to the climb. Then here's the mom. Just come down onto the trail. What do you think? Think I could catch it and ride it up to the top? I gotta tell you, the way I feel, might be game to try it. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Way closer to the top than I was a little while ago. Playing the hike to the next blaze game. Pick a blaze, hike to it, and pick another blaze, hike to it, and then repeat until you get up there. Or get exhausted and have to take a break. Alright, let's go. One more big push. Alright, feel like we're gotta be just about to the top. I hope so. I gotta say, looking back down through there at all those rocks, gosh, they were slippery and rolling around and everything else. I'll be super glad to get up here on top. All right, well, that does help. At least get rewarded with a nice vista out through there with all the fall foliage. Beautiful. All right, now that I'm up here, time to drop the hammer. Still got about 1.5 miles to go to camp. Heck, there was water the whole way up here. Crap, I could have just filled up at the top. Oh well, certainly got some extra character building in. Well, if that isn't a sight for sore eyes. Made her up here to Huntley Road. That was 2 miles, rough 2 miles. Took an hour to get up here, which is what I was targeting, but fortunately we made it. All right, now we just gotta lace it out through here. There's another stream coming across the backside here. That would have been really good to know as well. Avoid carrying a bunch of water up here. All right, this is the Vista. The campsite's still out there a little ways, but it's getting too dark. I'm just gonna go ahead and stealth back here. I saw a couple trees I think I'm gonna be able to make work. So I'm gonna run back here and get that set up quick before it gets completely pitch black. All right, here she is. I've certainly had better campsites, but I think it's gonna pass for the night. A little ramshackle, but I think it'll be okay. And I went ahead, since I'm out here on this ridge and I'm getting a lot of wind coming in from this direction, I went ahead and kind of rigged my poncho up so it goes the whole way down to the ground, just kind of give me some extra protection from the wind. So I guess we'll we'll see how she goes, but I'm looking forward to getting supper in me, that's for sure. Alrighty guys, well, we're all tucked in here in this hodgepodge kind of slammed together campsite, but I think it'll be alright. Got supper in me. Actually have cell service here, which was awesome, so I was able to call my wife and talk to her for a little while I was eating supper, so that was great. I figured it was like 14.5-ish miles to get here is what I was thinking, but my pedometer says like 17.3, so I don't know what was going on. I know there was a lot of rocks and stuff today, which might have added to it, but I wouldn't think it would have added that much, so who knows. I guess we'll see how far we have to get out tomorrow, but I was thinking it was around 8 miles, but I don't think it'll be too bad. And we just got one descent, and then one ascent up to the top of the ridge, and then I'm up there until I drop back down to that Rails to Trails trail where we left the truck this morning, so that'll be alright. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna pass out here because I'm pretty exhausted. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning everybody. It's just after 7 o'clock here. Just breaking daylight pretty hard and finally now. Slept pretty good last night. Took me a little while to fall asleep, and must have been like a full moon or something last night because there was like full-on shadows from the trees from the moonlight. It was pretty intense, especially shining through my tarp here, but other than that it was pretty good. The wind had died down, so it wasn't too bad. So I'm gonna get finish up breakfast here and then get all my stuff packed up and then keep hammering down the trail. right here's that camp I was gunning for. It was probably only 400 yards on out here, of course. But I think my campsite worked out all right. But yeah, I know that this camp's not too far out here from that vista, maybe 400 yards or so. So if you get to there, it'll give you a good reference point. Vista number 2 of the morning. I'm dropping down pretty good. Yeah, I think we're just going to drop down. I don't know if you guys can see the road down there, but I'm going to cross the bridge and I think follow that road around and then hang a left and climb up over that mountain. I believe that's what I'm going to do. Guess we'll find out when we get down there. Here's our turn. That was easy enough. Just follow this road up and then cut right off here to the left. Got a nice sign and everything. Alright. Time to lace it out across here. As soon as you come out here past another camp, you'll run into this log slide trail and this eiger trail. They're both blazed yellow as well, so you want to make sure that you keep heading straight. Straight ahead here is the Tiadaghton Trail. Alright, at long last, made it up to the top of the mountain here. That was a doozy of a climb for sure. Not quite as bad as the one going up Huntley, but still just a long, long climb up here. But now I'm up, so should just have a pretty leisurely stroll out across the top here. And I believe there's a number of vistas, so I am really looking forward to that. I've begun dropping down off of this ridge here. It's pretty cool. We're just kind of right on the spine of this ridge. It drops off to the right and then to the left. I'm just kind of looking out through the trees here, and I actually saw, if I zoom way in, let's see here, there we go. That bridge down there is the one I'm going to be coming across here in, I don't know, 2 hours or an hour and a half, something like that, once I make it back down to that rails to trail down there. Then the truck will be just on the other side of that bridge. Of course, I just about am done and it starts raining again. Oh well. It was kind of threatening there for about an hour, just kind of spitting a little bit, but she finally started dumping her down, so figured rather than be stupid and get soaked and be cold for the ride home, go ahead and throw the rain gear on for the last, I don't know, mile and a half or so. I think we got one more vista down here, so I am looking forward to that. Quite the panorama from out here on this vista. This is a great way to cap the trip off. Rain quit, sun's out now, which is lovely. Yeah, this is pretty spectacular out here. Tiadaghton may be brutal, but it's got to be one of my favorite places to be. Right here, just down from that vista, is a halfway decent dry camp. Pretty nice. This would be tenting only, I would say. Might be able to string a hammock up over there, but I'd say predominantly tenting, and I'd say you'd want to have a freestanding tent, because I bet you driving stakes in here would be a bear. Alrighty guys, made her to the end of the Tiadaghton. I popped out here on this rail trail, which shares its route with the Mid-State. I gotta say, this loop was a lot more difficult than I gave it credit for. I figured it was gonna be challenging, but man, it was just like a lot of ups and downs, and just took me a lot longer to get through the terrain than I expected. I would say if anyone's looking to do this loop, I would definitely recommend it for anyone that might be thinking about taking on the Black Forest and maybe are unsure whether they could make it to 42 miles. This would definitely be a good conditioning loop for that hike. If you guys have any more loop hikes like this that you could recommend, I'd greatly appreciate it, because I'm always looking for other trail options. As always guys, get outdoors, have fun, and embrace the uphill. Till next time, this is Vista Ventures.